Cancel the rest of my interview for the day. The rest of my interviews need to be canceled because this is the one.
Lilly Singh, thank you so much for coming in. We are going to talk Battle of the Generations, but last time you were here, you told me that when you're in Toronto, you like to get an ice cap.
I did say, oh my God, I did say that.
So we wanted to make sure that we had ice caps for you, but this is like a whole new world because I am just learning this morning. There's different flavors.
I did not know that. I did not know that. First of all, that's so sweet. I'm so happy to be here, but this is so sweet. Cancel the rest of my interview for the day. The rest of my interviews need to be canceled because this is the one.
This is what I planned, so that anytime you're here, you're like, well, I have to go see Ruby because she's going to have treats for me.
So I get to have an ice cap right now?
Yes, you get to have an ice cap right now.
Want?
So no, this is, you get to pick because you're the special guest.
I'm the special guest?
Yeah, so we have regular, Oreo, which I think is the new one, and then toffee caramel.
I think I'm going to go toffee caramel, but I too did not know there were flavors.
Yeah, so
what
there
a
are
time
flavors.
To be alive.
I know.
Thank you so much.
It's
this
a
is
whole
actually
new world.
Sweet. Are you going to join me in this?
Yes, of course.
Should we do a little cheers?
So I think we should do a little cheers.
Oh my God.
Grab the straw here.
To sisterhood, to friendship, to having a good memory, to all the things, for you being so sweet. Thank you.
To good friends in Toronto.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers. And to accent sleeves, because you got my text. And you knew. I was like, hey, don't forget.
I understood the
Don't forget we're doing accent sleeves today. I don't remember the last time I had an ice cap.
Wow, that's incredible. Wow.
Delish.
Hashtag not an ad. That is incredible. That is incredible.
All right. So, now that we've had our drinks.
I'm going to keep having it though, just so we know.
I figure because we have other things here too, and Battle of the Generations, it's based on the generations.
Absolutely.
So I thought you could figure out which of these represents each generation. Because we've got Boomer, Gen X, Gen Z, and Millennial. So we have some Timbits here of various flavors. This one's marshmallow filled.
It's doing a lot.
And then we have Boston cream and then plain. This one makes my mouth dry.
Yeah, well, this plain one is definitely Boomer. not to just immediately say that, but I will say this just gives me Boomer.
I didn't know if it was going to suit the stereotype or not, but I feel
not only
like
because it's plain, because I feel like if a Boomer was to pick one of these, they'd pick that because everything else they'd be like, oh, it's too sugary, it's too that. So like, I think that's Boomer. Now, I think this one that's doing a lot right here, I'm actually going to give that to Millennials.
Really? I thought you were going to go Gen Z for sure.
And I know you thought I was going to do that. But I want to do doing the most, because I feel like millennials, we're at this age right now where we really feel like we have to do the most because we're like, no, don't make fun of our jeans, don't make fun of our side part. Like, we're like trying to prove ourselves. So we're doing a lot right now.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't bring you ice cap.
Okay. Now, the Boston cream, correct?
Yeah.
This one, I'm going to say is Gen X. Because it's trying to overcompensate. You see what I'm saying? Like the other, like the holes, it's like, no, we're not gonna have a hole, we're gonna come correct, we have to prove ourselves, we're invisible, we need to do, so that right there, this is giving Gen X.
You know what we need to do though? I feel like we need to sprinkle a little like coarse sea salt on top, because they're like a little salty. They're just a smidge salty sometimes.
Now the reason I'm gonna give this, as my sleeve goes into my ice cap, the reason I'm gonna give this to Gen Z, it's a little bit of a bleak reason.
Oh no.
It's because it's the cheapest donut, and that's probably all they can afford right now. Because the other generations have screwed them. Sorry, boomers have left you in the state where you can't afford anything, and thus you'll be eating Timbits.
I feel like this is very thorough. You gave that a lot of thought, and I appreciate the activity, because I feel like you nailed it. And it
hashtag not an ad, so good.
Didn't go how I thought it was going to go, so I think that's my favorite part too, because I thought there's a rainbow sprinkle one in here, so I thought Gen Z was going to end up with the rainbow sprinkles, but your reasoning for them being a chocolate glaze is...
The rainbow sprinkle is for every generation, because it's for the gays. So,
okay,
for every generation.
Yes.
Okay. This is lovely, wow.
Okay, so season 2, Battle of the Generations. So from hosting season 1, going into season 2, like what did you learn from season 1 that you were like, okay, I have to either change it in season 2 or carry it into season 2?
I'm so happy I just ate a chocolate Timbit. That is definitely in my teeth right now.
That's why I filibustered. I gave you some time.
Yeah, season 1, I mean, it's a brand new show, right, in season 1. So I'm learning the ropes, the contestants are learning the ropes, the production crew is learning the ropes. I feel like season 2 now, it is a much more well-oiled machine. Me as a host, I feel more comfortable. I know the rules thoroughly. There's a few tweaks to the format that make it a lot cleaner. The contestants really know the rules. And the biggest change of season 2, that was my #1 ask, is there's a live audience. I love playing off an audience. I love the fact that the contestants have their family and friends in the audience, because it just makes it that much more real. So many of the contestants are like, I'm playing to win $25,000 so I can take my wife on our dream vacation, and the wife is in the audience, and it's like the emotional stakes are so high, and I just feel like I had such a blast. Not only me, but I think the contestants had such a blast, and I think audiences will have such a blast too.
Do you think that it made them to have their family and friends there like looser or more buttoned up?
I think both. Honestly, I think sometimes it was more nerve-wracking, but sometimes I think it was nice to have that support. And sometimes the family members were pretty outspoken. So, I think it was interesting across the board.
Gen Z did very well in the first season.
As they do.
So is there like a dominating generation this season?
Now, no spoilers. I don't want to give any spoilers, but I will say I was shocked at a lot of the results. If there's one generation that stood out to me, I think, especially post season 1, it's actually Gen X.
Oh, really?
I think Gen X is consistently the generation that they're not there to play, actually. All the other generations are like, hi, so nice to meet you. Gen X is like, no, we need to win this. This is like, we are the forgotten generation. They have something to prove. And I really feel like in season 2, they showed up. They showed up in a very surprising way, I will say. No spoilers, but stay tuned.
Well, and you're doing a celebrity edition this season for charity?
Absolutely, yes. So I wanted to do a celebrity, so we have these really great musicians, Tesha, Molly Johnson. It's really fun because these are people who are used to being on camera, used to being on stage, and so it's just them acting a fool, but it's also me, honestly, being a bit more tough on them because I'm like, you don't have no nerves. You're used to being here. But they're playing for charity. It's a really special episode, and I was really keen on doing a celebrity charity episode of some type, so I'm so glad we got it done.
Okay, so in future seasons, if you had your dream competition, who are you putting on?
Okay, so if I had like my way, it would be like Howie Mandel. Howie Mandel.
Yeah.
It would be Nelly Furtado. Maitreyi Ramakrishnan. It would be Simu. It would be all the Canadians that I love and adore. Carr, Jessie Reyez. I want all of these people to come play trivia because we're so used to seeing them be really, really confident. But when they're behind that podium, getting asked about different generations, you see a different side to them. That's really cool.
It would be interesting to see Maitreyi on there actually because you could give her video game questions and then like really test her.
Exactly.
Because that's her area of expertise.
And we've had some questions about all of these people too.
Yeah.
And it's been, I always text them on the side to be like, oh, look at this question, they knew you. And sometimes the people get them horribly wrong. And then I also text them that.
Like,
Yikes. Season 1, actually, I remember Gen Z, the answer to the question was Quinta Brunson. And I vividly remember the contestant said quinoa.
Oh.
And I simply had to tell Quinta, I was like, girl, let me humble you real quick. It doesn't matter how famous you are. This person just called you quinoa. And it'd be like that sometimes.
On national television.
Yeah, and it'd be like that sometimes.
Some of the contestants have had really cool jobs last season, and I would assume this season too. Like there was one guy, he was from medieval times, and then there was someone else who did like singing telegrams.
Yeah.
So has there been anyone that they like talk about what their job is, and you're like, well, after this is all over, like that's what I'm going to start doing now?
People do some pretty fascinating things, I will say. We've had some like cool things like, refereeing kids sports teams also, but I don't remember which episode it is, but there was someone who like talks to plants.
What?
Like it's a thing where they were like, yeah, I like play specific music for plants and like talk to the plants, and I thought it was a joke, but she was serious.
Huh.
I didn't know that was a job.
Okay.
I like it. I wish I could do that.
I feel like we need to move this like bush over here.
And what does this bush want to say?
So what do you think about
maybe it's been screaming something to you and we don't even know.
We haven't been listening.
We don't even know.
We haven't been listening. That's
we
the
get
problem.
a lot of really cool people, and it's fascinating because they're from all over Canada. And so they're sometimes from small towns, sometimes from big cities, and I've met so many different characters on this show.
Well, and you already have another new job, Chief Hype Officer, Toronto Tempo. What does that mean?
It is the greatest thing ever, I'm not going to lie. I love basketball. I love Toronto. In fact, when the Raptors had their playoff championship run, I flew back and forth and spent all of my money, girly pop, all of it. And when I found out that there's a WNBA team coming to Canada, as a fan, I was just like, this is incredible. The fact that I get to say I'm part owner and chief hype officer, like little Lily is unwell, truly unwell. It is the greatest. My favorite things are Toronto women in sports, and I know firsthand the impact sports can have on women in a community and on culture, and I think it's so important. And I knew from the beginning of time that women are amazing and female athletes are amazing, but I feel like the world is finally catching up with that right now. Also, not to flex, but you guys have some cameras. Maybe you can zoom out. Look at my nails.
Oh, yes. Oh, wow.
I don't know if the zooming capabilities are gonna. It doesn't seem like it.
We're going to need to have a separate
No one's
photo
touching a
shoot.
camera right now, so I don't think the zooming capabilities are. Literally, they're all looking at each other like, we're not zooming in. The tripod is set. We're not doing it.
Like, we'll
but
do
I
it in
do have a
post.
logo on my nails.
Yes.
I do. Because I'm hype about it. I'm genuinely hype, and I cannot wait to hype this team up from all the rooftops. I cannot wait.
How did you land on the title Chief Hype Officer? Like, was there a short list, and then you were like, okay, it's this one?
The Tempo team was like, hey, yes, you're part owner, but like, what else do you want to do? And I had to like take a think on it. I was like, what am I known for? Like, how do my friends describe me? And I think anyone that knows me would describe me as very energetic. This is naturally, like this little 2 sips I had is the first bit of caffeine I've had today. This is just who I am as a person. I'm always on one. And so I thought, let me lean into that. Let me lean into this extraness that I have and just do the most. So I plan to be at as many games as possible, cheering these ladies on, cheering on our fans, and just making the whole thing sing. Sing! Oh my God. What? That was improv. I just said that.
Wow.
That was pretty sick. That was...
You have a catchphrase now. That's
Make
exciting.
it sing. Oh my God. That's actually so good.
It's so good. And I appreciate everything that you just said.
Yes.
I believe you in a way, but I do feel like you need to be honest right now.
Okay.
We're among friends.
Okay.
We've had ice caps together.
We've had ice caps.
You're just doing this to hang out with Serena Williams, aren't you? Just, you can tell me. You can tell me.
You're not wrong in this. Serena Williams is really cool. And I'm going to say something, and I hope it doesn't come across as a flex. It absolutely is a flex. It's definitely a flex. I want it to come across as a flex. This is actually the second team Serena and I are part owners of. Now, isn't that an absurd sentence to say? Like, I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl. I'm a girl from Scarborough, born and raised in Scarborough, just trying to make it. And we also are part owners of Angel City, which is the LA women's soccer team. So I won with 2 teams alongside Serena Williams,
Wow.
which is a crazy sentence. Serena Williams is one of the greatest people to ever walk this planet. She's one of the most impressive human beings ever. And I just love that there's some capacity in which I'm associated with her is my major honor. So you're absolutely correct. In fact, whatever else she does, I'm going to follow her.
You could.
Literally.
She's going to text you and be like, okay, so we own this team now.
And
you'll
I'm going to be
yeah.
like, and I will absolutely somehow make a call to my business manager and sell my home, and I will do that.
Text Quinoa Brunson, get her in on it.
Quinoa, you want in on this, Quinoa? Let me know.
Get in on this. Also, okay,
You're
so
good at this.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And actually, we have already had a lot of unintentional product placement already.
Yeah.
But before I let you go, last time you were here, we were talking.
No one has paid this much attention to me in my whole, like, what? I feel so seen right now.
We had a nice conversation.
I really appreciate you remembering all this.
And
by you, I mean your producers.
No. Hey, this is you, Jess, you tell her.
She remembers.
I really, can I just hold your hand for a second?
This is nice.
I really do appreciate that. That's so nice of you. Thank you.
I wish my nails looked as nice as yours.
Oh my God, you look fabulous.
But okay, so we talked about how you would spend a day in Toronto, and one of the things that we were reminiscing about is hanging out at Pizza Hut.
Oh, because it doesn't hit. I don't know how many Americans watch this, but I feel like we need to do a PSA that American Pizza Hut is trash. And I'm sorry, if I just lost a Pizza Hut brand deal, I'm sorry. But I will say that Canadian Pizza Hut, that's for special occasions.
Well, and that's the thing. So after you left, they actually did send gift cards. Because
Pizza Hut?
Yes,
Canadian Pizza Hut?
Canadian Pizza Hut.
Are you kidding me right
gift
now?
cards because you were hyping up Pizza Hut. So I was thinking right now we have a really good opportunity. What should we hype up today?
Wait, hold on. Let me clarify. They sent who gift cards? You got to get no gift card?
I tried.
You
I
used the gift
sent
card?
emails. I sent emails. If you didn't get them, I tried.
Did you use the gift card?
Okay, of course I did. Of course I did. I brought pizza to everybody around here.
Oh, y'all had pizza?
Yeah, everybody had pizza. So
We tried to get Pizza Hut. They don't open this early.
yeah, we were gonna get that this morning. They were like, it's breakfast
Pizza
time.
Hut's not open for breakfast? What the heck?
I know. We got to work on that.
So what you're saying
But
is we
so
could
I'm
just...
thinking we should pick another brand.
Okay.
And
I
like Volkswagens.
Yeah.
like
I do
we
like
should
that.
we got to hype something else up
Okay.
because I mean we got the gift cards last time. So
Well, you know what I will say is that because
just
I'm
casually.
part owner of the Toronto Tempo now, which is like a really big, impressive team, I will have to fly back and forth a lot. So if there was like a private jet company or like some sort of aviation company that was just like happened to be watching this and wanted to send me a gift card for a private jet, that would be kind of nice.
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
And in the event that like I needed to come interview somewhere,
Right.
we just this is something that we
I
need.
feel like I would need you there as part of my rider almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I feel like that's appropriate.
Okay.
I like that we've jumped from Pizza Hut to a private jet. It feels like a natural progression. It really does.
We have to shoot our shot.
I love that.
Basketball.
Absolutely. I see what you did there. We're just tagline machine out here. I like it.
So CTV's Battle of the Generations, Wednesday nights on CTV.
Wednesdays, 10 p.m. and the next day on Crave. So if you slack off, you have the next day on Crave.
So make sure you watch it. It's all anyone's going to be talking about. And you got to test your skills. We all think that we would crush it at that show.
And let me tell you something. Every person that texts me about the show says the same thing. Mm-hmm. I would crush this. I should be on the show. I would win this show. Everyone who thinks they would win the show. I would love to see you on the show. I would love to see every person that's texted me be on the show. And I would love for you to play along with your family and tag me in your stories because I don't think that it's as easy as people think it is. I think it's quite hard.
I think you'd find yourself on TV calling Quinta Brunson Quinoa Brunson. I really do.
Absolutely. That's absolutely what happens.
Thanks for coming in.
I'm literally going to drink this whole thing.
Yeah, let's continue our...
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers. You really got Pizza Hut? Mm-hmm. That's so freaking cool.